Okay, we're going to do a side by side analysis. This should be interesting. I like when people do videos like this of the Squadron 42 cinematic that we saw recently, which I had a blast at last weekend with you guys live streaming. And we've got here the 2024 versus what they showed us last year. So let's see if we can spot the cool. Any day now, Pepe. Did you push? Okay. All right, so the up top is 2023 versus below is 2024. Let's check out. Okay, so more color with gas clouds.
Archangel 6, come in.
Go for 6.
I'm getting a faint contact on bearing 287. You picking that up?
Yeah, got it. Scanning now.
Yeah. Much more color. That's the thing I noticed right off the bat.
Very clear. Commercial vessel out of Vega 3. Reminded them that civilian traffic is restricted under lockdown.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Copy that.
This you can definitely see. Much more detailing, much more highlighting. The lighting looks better on the one below. Although there was an effect up in the gas cloud about 10 or 15 seconds back on 2023 that actually I did prefer over 2024. But so far, so good. Liking 2024 better than 2023. Let's keep going.
Archangel, this is Crew Gary.
Come back for Gary.
Redirect to sec.
They lightened up on the trails. If you'll notice that the exhaust trail, like look above and then look below. They like lightened it up.
7
nice.
Bravo Echo for immediate tasking.
Copy that. On our way.
Did you notice they got rid of all the roids? I mean, like look at the amount of roids there are up top versus the bottom. That is so interesting. Like, what's going on there?
Scimitar, reposition for heading 038. Copy that. Adjusting heading now. Reaper Squadron. Thanks for joining us.
Devin's going to bed.
In position, holding now.
Devin was just saying he's going to bed a little early tonight. He ain't sleep. He's got weird sleep schedules right now. He's kind of like a vampire. I told him, okay. Listen, this is where I think you're going to see the biggest differences coming up here. This is what I'm really curious in seeing.
Understood. Stand by for further orders. All flanks. Bishop wants to lose formation on our baffle so we don't clump up. Copy that.
Yeah. What's up, Aladdin? Welcome to the fam, bro. Yeah, oh my God, look at that. Okay, yeah, look at the amounts of detail, you know, like look at all the detail they're adding down here on the bottom portion. I mean, like even look at the turrets down here, you know. That's pretty badass. The planets are completely differently composed. This one's more of an Earth-like. This one, you know, looks like they got it from the dark side rather than the light side, or they changed planets to be more proportionate with the system that they're currently in and the work that they've actually done there, you know. So like this kind of tells me, as somebody who's been following game development for a long time, that they actually took a real asset here and inserted it for the scene that they actually have been working on for that system that we're being shown right now. Whereas this is just kind of like a placeholder. Like if you're looking, if you can see the arrow and what I'm doing, that seems to be just like a placeholder cinematic. Where I'm looking back here, I'm seeing an actual asset. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Engines are different, right? Wow. That's slick. Even that scene, like even this scene is pretty cool here. Like there, look, barely even like up here, this port showing out here is essentially this down here. Look at the shot they take at the bottom versus the top. I think is more professional. Like, see that? At the bottom, they're cutting to him. Yeah.
I know I just wrote you, but a couple of hours ago, proximity sensors on the other side of the jump got twigged and went dark. The word is it might be that clan that we've been battling with. I guess that last fight didn't scare them off quite like we all hoped it would. Honestly, we've been out here so long, I don't know what to pull for anymore. I just wanted to let you know. I'll write as soon as I can. Stay safe.
This also makes me feel like they're going to have this in game where you essentially have your own email and you can. I think there's going to be so much work done on the UI in the future. It's going to be ridiculous. Everything that we saw with the social information from Saturday's presentation was pretty amazing. What they're doing is making the game more connective so that you can basically play with your org mates easier, which they, like I said, should have been done from the very beginning. I mean, look at the difference in the facial construction. Watch this shit. Look at this. I mean, look at the difference in the amount of detail with the facial construction down there. They're fucking with the lighting an awful lot too, which is, I find fascinating. But like the difference, like this looks like a very like less sculpted face than this face down here. It's crazy. Jesus, look at this, man. I mean, it's almost like some motherfucker's face. It very well could be, actually. I mean, it looks like they shot a dude's face and laid some CGI over it, man. Like, it literally looks like they laid a little bit of touch, like the eyes here literally look like a person's fucking face. Like down here, like here to the cheekbone down here looks like an actual face. It looks like they laid a CGI nose over top.
Never gets old, does it?
Crazy how realistic.
It is. I used to do the same thing when I was first coming up. Post up to the flight deck whenever I could to watch the launches. Have you seen the F-8s up close?
Oh my God. And like, this is what I keep trying to tell people, man. But like, there is progress, right? People are always so worried, like, oh no, the graphics are going to eventually look so dated. This is taking so long, man. Check out what we're seeing, man. Look at the progress here, just in the overall vibe and the feel. It's like 1,000,000 times better, man. But people don't have the patience, so they get mad, they get upset. They look at that fucking hater bait, man. They get on that clickety clack and they get angry. And it's like, dudes, this is going to be a hit. Like, I was watching this Saturday with you all, and I was watching this. I'm like, dude, this is going to be a hit. Like, it's hitting all the markers. Like that epic prologue was like, what? How long was that? 35, 40 minutes long. And I saw so many people like, just feeling the feels with me during CitizenCon and how much we were like vibing on it. And then I see on various other Star Citizen creators who shall be unnamed, but there was a few out there, and their entire like audience is hell-bent on throwing poop at it. And I'm like, are you guys watching something completely different than I am? Like, do you guys feel that way? Have you guys noticed that? Like, on certain channels, or like, like there's people out there that hate so bad that had like problems with what they saw from Squadron 42, And there was so much hate, and I'm like, oh, I didn't detect that at all. Like, I actually had a great time. I thought it was fucking wonderful. And then I start reading these other comments, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on out there, They'd rather watch it all burn down to the ground than even play 1 second of it, It is insanity. It's craziness, man. It's a fucking game that we've been wanting forever, and there's nothing but people hating, man. It's like, what is going on out there? I mean, like, look at all the mechanics that they put in, like the crafting mechanics and the base building mechanics. And I didn't even do a proper overview like I want, but I'm telling you right now, those who are here live and those who are watching this with us here on YouTube, I'm just telling you right now, man, like I was super impressed with this year's CitizenCon. I didn't like the segues. Some of the presenters were absolute shit, but like, what did they do this year? They actually showed us gameplay and they showed us the complexities of crafting and they showed us the beautiful UI of base building. They explained how they were going to bring in organizations in and make that more concrete. Then on top of that, we saw star fucking bases. Are you kidding me? PvP controlled star bases and people were fucking bitching. Like, how fucking spoiled are people these days? Like, that is literally everything you could have fucking ever asked for. The crafting alone, the complexity of what I saw in the crafting and where they want to go with it, what I saw was just like phenomenal. I'm an industrialist trader. I love being an armchair fucking spreadsheet warrior. Okay. So trust me, when it comes to crafting and trading, that shit's gotta be correct. When it comes to constructing an economy in a game, that shit has gotta be correct. I used to have on this channel, when I first started covering Star Citizen, I used to have 3-hour motherfucking talks about what I want from the Star Citizen economy, and I would do them religiously every single week. People subscribed to hear me rant about the economy and what we wanted from the economy in 2015, 2016. They were subscribing to me, listening to me for 3 hours at a time, just to listen to what I wanted from the fucking Star Citizen economy.
Yes, sir! You're not gonna hate me!
I mean, people were coming in and subscribing for what I wanted from it. And, you know, as time progressed, I made some concessions. I said, okay, this isn't going to be EVE Online. This isn't going to be the kind of economy I want. Okay, maybe it'll be somewhat of the economy that I want. Then Tony Z got in a few years ago, showed us the AI system that they have in place and what we're going to get, because I was concerned. I was thinking, they can't properly take AI and NPC actions and make it seem as if it's human demand. They can't do that. But now with what we're seeing from AI, they absolutely can. They absolutely can. They can simulate human demand. They can do it because AI can do it. It's going to get to the point where it can do it. They'll just put the code in. They'll just put the code in. Like, the future economy will be a code of AI coming in and bringing the demand that is human simulated demand. I absolutely believe now that they can. Years ago, I didn't know this tech was going to hit like this. I had no idea that we are going to get hit with AI like this, dude. Like, I had no idea that it was going to progress so fast. Who did? Nobody did. You'd be a fucking genius if you predicted it. Maybe Alex Karp with Palantir like 15 years ago knew this shit was going to happen. Maybe Peter Thiel, right? There's a couple people in this world that knew this shit was going to happen way in advance. I was not one of those people. And now I'm looking at him like, yeah, AI can absolutely simulate human-based demand. Like, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. So I coming into this, I wanted an economy that was so multifaceted and so complex. And I just said, you know what? They're not going to do it. There's no way Cloud Imperium's going to make that game, and I have to be okay with it. So I made these secessions to myself. I was like, okay. But when we saw what we saw Sunday, you guys know I was blown away. When like, it was far surpassed my expectations. And I told everybody there that day, I said, when I was there, I was like blown away by what I saw in terms of detail and complexity in the crafting. I did not expect that. Like, that in itself was amazing. Then to see where they plan to go with base building and how that UI fucking pops up like that and you get that top-down view, that is everything we asked for.
Yes, sir! You're not gonna hate me!
That is everything we asked for. So on Saturday, we got social kind of things, which were kind of boring to some people, but I liked what they were doing. I liked seeing that come in. The connectivity with the organizations, being able to have like beacons that you can put notes on, a new contractual beacon system, a new fucking guide system where, you know, when you get these guides, they're going to help you because they have incentives to do such. It's an ingenious way to get people involved in a tutorial-based system that is dynamic within the game. I loved it. That was a wonderful feature. All these features were game-oriented gameplay features. And then they gave us a date for Squadron 42, and people were upset because, oh yeah, another 2 years, 2026. But honestly, they don't have any of those left. So 2026 is it. And that's where most of us who've been with this project know that 2026 is it. And if they don't hit in 2026, you're going to see the most hardcore of people like myself, like Aether, like others in this community, Betty, many others who have been here a very long time. You're going to see them get upset. You're going to see the oldest backers, me and our friends here. If they don't deliver in 2026, you will see them get upset. And that is a fact. So when they say 2026 for Squadron 42, it is 2026. Like, it will be 2026 or bust. Because if they don't deliver in 2026 for Squadron 42, they're going to have a fire. They're going to have a fire and a riot on their hands, and everybody here knows it. So for me, I know they're going to land on 2026 because they have no other fucking option or alternative. They don't. So when you see that, when you see this like, oh, 2026, sell me another one. Or you see like, oh yeah, sure, another 2 years. Okay, we're just going to keep going. It's never going to be finished. No, that is not what it is. This is it. 2026 is the delivery date. If they don't do it, there will be a fucking riot, and they know it. So they have to do it. And that's where I'm looking at it from. I'm looking at it from the lens of somebody who's been watching this for a very long time, have invested tons of my time to learn about the game, the development, the people behind it, the business, everything. I mean, I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. And I'm telling you right now that 2026 is the deadline date. If they don't hit it, there will literally be like the oldest backers like myself. They'll just be like, okay, fuck it. You know, then that's when the tide will turn. And that is when the mobs come out, because you will have the oldest members like myself and others that are going to start carrying the pitchforks, you know, which is why they went with 2026. Absolutely limitless. That is exactly why they went with it. And I agree with St. Eric. They did set a realistic date with 2026. Look at the progress from 1 year. 2026 is not out of this. Here's where they're at. It is the overall gameplay design when it comes to the flight experience and making the AI and NPC react smoothly so that there's no glitchy, hiccupy bullshit on the FPS side of things. We all saw the portion of the stream where he was playing Squadron 42, and his character glitched and went backwards, right, and wasn't holding a gun. It was Gillian Anderson. You guys remember that portion of the presentation? So they have a lot of FPS issues, AI and PC-based issues, animations. They've got a lot of NPC ship kind of combat scenario situations. They've got to flush that shit out. They just got to flush it out. That's where they're at. In terms of the actual cinematics and the assets to create what it is, their environments, and the improvements to cinematics, I think they're pretty well done. I think everything right now is contextually game-based, like game mechanic-based right now. I think where they're at for the next 2 years is to overall just like smooth it up. So anyway, let's keep going.
No, sir.
What I'm trying to say is this. I was impressed. I was actually like, I walked away at the end of CitizenCon. First off, I had a wonderful time with everybody. I had an absolute blast being able to be here with you guys. It was fucking amazing. I had the best time of my life. After everything, like the whole experience going through the week, there's so many times I just wanted to make this video for you guys to tell you like how I was feeling in terms of the project. We saw more gameplay hit than I think we've ever seen before in our lives. And I don't know what it is with some of these people and what they expect or what they're fucking smoking or you know, like what drugs they're on, man. But I saw fucking gameplay and game-oriented vision and something that I've always wanted in PvP, which are like the ability to have your own base, to construct it and to keep constructing it. In an MMO format, that was the fucking piece de la resistance. That was the shit. That starbase, I mean, like that starbase was a great way to end that. The starbase being able, like, I'm a PvP oriented player, so I'm very biased PvP. When I saw that starbase, dude, and I understood that you could literally continue to build out that starbase as big as you wanted to, and you could have all your orgs there, you could essentially build alliances. I mean, that's what I was looking at. The ability to have a registry and a security in your base where you could tell people who could come into the base and who could go out of the base. What I saw was essentially the beginnings of like PvP alliances, like organizations that could talk to one another and then build with each other these large structures. There aren't, like I said, they're not going to be like everywhere you go. It's going to take a massive amounts to build. But like, wow, the ability to have your own base with your friends and your org mates and possibly an alliance of orgs, and people weren't excited. Like, what the fuck? You know why they weren't excited? Because it wasn't in the game right now. Because they're upset. Okay, fair point. I get it. It's not in the game right now. But how many things that we were pissed about eventually came into the game? Most everything. Just took time. What I was most happy about was they were honoring their word, Chris's vision of an MMO that had player choices and player-driven consequences, man. It was like players get to choose. Players get to choose their narratives, man. They get to go in there. You guys get to build the bases that you want. You can fight who you want. You can make friends with who you want. You can have whatever fucking time you want in there, right? And it's all one of the most, well, everything I saw, it was like it gave you the ability to make this MMO one of the most dream scenario MMOs that I've ever wanted my entire life. Let me just put it that way. Simply put, it was the MMO to end all MMOs. Like what I saw there, and the fact that I get it, it's a vision, right? And nothing's in there right now. I get it. But the fact that they're staying true to their word from the very get-go just shows me the amount of integrity that Chris has and the people at Cloud Imperium have. That they're sticking to the narrative that they will have power to the people in an MMO, which is something that I haven't truly ever seen done correctly. And I think this one's going to do it, dudes. Like, I really think this one's going to do it. It is, we have come so far, and to see me be surprised by the amount of complexity in the crafting alone, to see that they did it exactly like I wanted them to do it, to see that they did the base building exactly like I wanted them to do it. It's hitting on every fucking button that this is it. The industrial aspects, how if you were industrializing and you're becoming like a capital juggernaut and you wanted to build these like a huge industry, and that you had to have the resources to power it. Not only did you have to build the base, but you had to have the resources there to run the base, and that also you did it in first person as well. Was like,
yes, you're gonna hit me.
Chris saying that he wants VR, like I'm reading what you guys are putting right now, like eventually wanting VR, also shows me that the game will be alive for as long as it's supported. As long as people are very supportive of this, it will have the money to back it to like, there is no way that this will not become a reality unless, and let me say this, let's get back to rationality here. Unless dynamic server meshing is solved in all respects. I want you guys to get that. The keystone, the most important part at the top of this, is the actual ability for everyone to get together and have these experiences together with little to no hiccups. There has to be stability. This is the hard part. This is where my brain goes, ah. Okay. Dynamic server meshing has to be completely flushed out. They have to revolutionize the tech. They've already made a good start with it. But that is the key. The key.
The thing's a beast. Nimble, too.
12 maneuvering thrusters and 3 mains. It sure sounds like it. Sir.
Captain McLaren to the bridge. Captain McLaren to the bridge.
I saw you apply to the flight academy again.
Yes, sir.
Keep your head up. Took me a couple times before I got in.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the progress.
This is Admiral Bishop. For 6 months now, we have faced the through our...
Hold on, I'm getting through this part because we saw this at CitizenCon. I want to get back to the comparisons. Let's see, right here.
We fight today. So in 40 years from now, when you're surrounded by everything and everyone you hold dear, and they ask, what did you do in the Battle of Vega? You can look them in the eye and say, I held the line. Men and women of the Second Fleet, I am proud to stand with you today. Good luck. Bishop out.
I mean, the cool thing is they had so many different camera angles they were taking. It just shows you that Chris has all of these fucking shots set up where he can actually cut them together however he wishes to. I mean, like you were watching Gillian Anderson for the longest time, separate. Look at this particular section. Like they've got multiple angles that they were shooting. Like that particular scene right there.
Second Fleet.
Like this is fascinating to me because, you know, this is an area that they're all acting in and they're standing in this green room and there's a camera on Jillian and there's a camera on what the fuck is this guy's name? How can I forget this guy's name, for fuck's sake?
I am proud to stand with you today. Good luck.
Gary Oldman. Thank you. I was going to say Ben, man. I'm like, what am I thinking? Probably Obi-Wan.
Bishop out.
Gary Oldman.
Nice speech.
Any word from the recon team?
Not yet.
Let's get into position.
Yeah, so far so good. Anyway, I don't know why we keep going back to section not featured. Hold on, let's look at some of the space battle here. There we go. Anyway, you can tell already much better than last year. Lots of progress. And, you know, this is why when I look at some of these negative comments, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't even realize what they're getting, man. Like, they're going to get themselves one of the best fucking games they've ever played. And then talking about the MMO, you're going to get one of the best. Why I signed up was truly the MMO experience. And I think this is going to give me everything I want out of an MMO. And I was completely shocked. Like, you can ask the people that were here with us live last weekend. When I saw the complexity of that crafting system and that UI based base building system, I was fucking bonkers, man. I was speechless. It doesn't happen a lot. I saw that, I was like, wow. And then the space station, man, for PvPers. Woo, man. I had to clean up myself afterwards, fingers.